Hello, beautiful family. Welcome again to One Global Movement. Speak with Heart. Thank you guys so much, sister. Thank you so much. It's really a blessing and a pleasure to know that when we open this computer, we're going to see somebody on the other side of the world that has the same mindset, the same heart, that has the same assignment like all of us here that want to come together to do something to uplift humanity from the heart, beginning with our children, women, and young people.
Yes.
Not everyone is fortunate to have this kind of opportunity. Not everyone. I take it so important, and I don't take it lightly at all, because not everybody has this kind of opportunity. But I am so grateful that there is goodness in the world. There is more goodness in the world than the things that are not so good. I don't want to say bad, but it is when we come together, we begin to see the goodness that is embedded in all corners of the globe, because we all come from different countries, different orientations, different background, different everything. But we decided that what else is there to do? What else is there to do for humanity but to do just what we are doing? I don't see anything else. What, even at your job or in your business, in your school or whatever, we got to take that as a gift, not just to earn a paycheck or not just to acquire an education, but a way to use that opportunity to serve from the heart. And that is what we are doing here. And I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It's only God who will reward all of you here for what you are doing here in One Global Movement. And I want to thank our CEO and thank God. Our prayers and our tribute to him is making things happen. And they're going to happen at God's own timing. And when they do, they will be here for eternal. So thank you guys so much. Let us keep praying for him and those that he's working with, especially his immediate family that are really helping him, giving him that space, that mind space and time to do this thing, focusing on others, not just on his family. So we thank the Almighty God, and thank you, sister, and thanks to everyone here. You all are special. You all are blessed and highly favored. So today, we are in One Global Movement Revolution, part 372, OGM Harvest Series number 4. We are still harvesting. And I'm going to be showing you from time to time what we have. Look at this. We are still look at this. Is one of the smallest watermelon. We're still harvesting.
Yes,
especially considering the weather in Minnesota here. Look at these bell peppers. All done.
Oh, my. What a harvest. Wow.
Yes. So, and if you look here, you will see this kind of lunch tomatoes. They're small, but they are sweet. They are so yummy. Oh my God. And
I love them.
Yes. And so the coal is not yet here, and I thank God. And so I'm going to keep harvesting until I cannot do it anymore, because
God has stopped it. He stopped the seasons for you, aren't you?
Yes, for One Global Movement. yes. So, and this topic is very important. We're treating it every year and all the time. And because food is everything, we all know that food is spiritual, food is sacred, food is love. Food is bonding, it's relationship. Food is family. Food is everything. And and when you attach all of these to not just physical food or filling our tummy, you get to respect what food is. You got to respect it. And so now, food sovereignty, our rights, our responsibility. And we can also say food sovereignty, your right, your responsibility. And why? Why is it your right? Because we were born to eat. We were born. God said, go and dominate the surface of the earth, dominate the soil, dominate everything that creeps upon the surface of the earth, on the soil, dominate the fishes of the sea, dominate the birds of the sky, dominate the cattle of the field and all the animals, but do not dominate man,
One
don't
another.
dominate human beings. And so this is very important for us here in One Global Movement with our population. And why is it our responsibility? Why? It is our responsibility because you have to respect the soil. You have to respect the seed that you sow. You have to respect the land. You have to know that this is your land, or I have asked for that land before using it. You don't just seize it. You just take land from people. You don't dominate people by seizing their land. And so it is our responsibility. And what are you planting? Is that healthy? Is that healthy? So this is what we are talking about. Is it, who are you serving? After serving yourself and your immediate family, who else are you going to serve with that seed, that food that you're going to harvest? So we need to think about this. We're not just talking about it because we have been given the mandate, the dominion. We have been given the wisdom, the courage, the strength to do these things exactly the way it is. It is our right by creation. But it's also that right comes with a responsibility. And it is that responsibility that will build seeds of prosperity. Prosperity meaning for you, your family, and your community and the world. So now the focus here we wanna is empowering communities to control their own systems. That is the focus of this theme, this topic of today. Empowering communities to control their own food systems. And if you want to do that, you ask. Think about where you were born. Think about where you grow up. How were you raised? How were you raised? How did you see your parents, your grandparents, your uncles and aunties do farming or gardening? How did you see that? If you did not grow in a family that did that, which we all are supposed to teach our families to one degree, planting just even a tree, because the scripture says when you buy a home, you must reserve space for a little garden. I grew up where vegetable is right from the backyard to the kitchen and from the kitchen to the dining table. It's always been like that. It's still like that, and it's never going to change. And so you look into your ancestry. How did they garden? Because that land and the way the garden is there for a reason. You cannot grow what does not belong in that soil and expect it to do well unless you're going to be using chemicals that are toxic to that soil and to the people that eat it. And we don't want that, especially we are dealing with children. We don't want to destabilize their hormones and then giving them emotional disturbances and all those things. So now, um, another thing is action tie in. How do you tie in? We are teaching young people and women in particular about saving seeds, choosing crops, and sustaining the land. That's what we are doing here in One Global Movement. If you hear, we talk about seeds a lot, don't we, sister? We talk
Yes, we
about
do.
a lot. And now I preserve and reserve some of the crops without harvesting them so that they can then grow up into seeds, so that I can share with the community, share with those that don't have those seeds, or I can take it to a seed bank and label it One Global Movement, and then they can share it to those who don't have seeds or the money to buy the seeds. It's the same thing that we are doing with One Global Movement projects around the world, seeds for families. So we do that. And now, so it is such a beautiful day here. And I really love this because it really helps me to do a lot, which is One Global Movement, which is one of the most important thing. And we all are friends and visionaries and change makers. And so we always greet you with the spirit of justice, dignity, and hope. We gather here under a simple but powerful truth. Food sovereignty is not just an option. No, it is our right and it is our responsibility. At One Global Movement, we all know, we always say this, a truly abundant harvest is one where no plate is empty. No seat is empty at the dining table, and no dream is starved. We cannot afford to starve the dreams of our children. This is the heartbeat of today's message. Freedom, dignity, and the responsibility expressed through the food we grow, share, and protect. And this demands spirituality. You cannot do that without the belief, the faith, and the belief in the creation, in the one who created you. You can't do that. Otherwise, you will falter and you will veer off course, and you start using that as a weapon to go against people, or to monetize it against the benefit of humanity. So this is very important. And the storytelling time, I want to be able to tell a story because I so love this topic, and I so love my grandmother and my mother and the uncles and the aunties that invested in me, my village, because I learned a lot. That's why I so love this food sovereignty, food justice, and I love food. I love gardening in general. So imagine a grandmother. We are going back in time in our ancestry, because without your ancestry, you will not be where you are today. Sure. Without your parents and your grandparents, you will not be here today. Some of us, they gave birth and they died. We didn't get to see them, but still they invested in your life by giving you that birth. Their blood runs through your veins. And so just imagine a grandmother in a rural village. I'm imagining my grandmother. That's why I'm telling this story. In a rural village, holding in her palm the seeds her ancestors passed down to her. Just imagine that. Just holding it in the hand. It's something sacred. It tells you a lot. It births you. It nurtures you. It taught you how to respect the creator, because those seeds come from the creator, right? And so to this grandmother, these seeds are more than food. And as my grandmother taught me, it's more than food. They are memory, they are medicine, and they're survival. Medicine, remember that saying, we hear it, we see it, but what is left is that we put action. Eat your food today as your medicine, so that tomorrow you will not eat your medicine as your food. That means we need to feed our children, beginning from ourselves. We eat healthily. And then, so that tomorrow, when we get sick, we will not just depend on medication to feed us, right? And so, but now, imagine if that right, we're still going to this story, imagine if that right to plan what she knows to feed her family, her grandchildren, was taken away by system that prioritize profit over people. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine if the right of my grandmother was taken because she was feeding us with very yummy, sweet yams. I'm telling you, I'm looking for a way to see how I can bring those yams here, okay? Food sovereignty is about restoring that grandmother's dignity and rights. It is about saying, we choose what grows in our soil, and we choose what nourishes our bodies. You choose it because God has given you the mandate and the wisdom to do that. And you choose it because you need to do so for your children, to raise them so that they don't, they learn how to choose right for themselves and their children, so that to continue that lineage and that ancestry. So at the One Global Movement, we believe, and we strongly believe, that you cannot uplift humanity without a heart. And no heart can beat strong when hunger is at its table. Tell me, which mother does not cry when they cannot provide for their children? Tell me, which father does not feel down on themselves when they cannot provide and protect their family? Tell me, a good father. But I also know that there are some that, for some reason, they are not yet at that point. But we can work ourselves to get to that point. So let us define food sovereignty. Food sovereignty means empowering communities to control their own food systems. We did that before. From seed to from seed to soil, from harvest to the table. I always love to say, from the backyard to the kitchen, and from the kitchen to the table. right? So it is different from food security. We must know that it is different from food security. Food security is about access to food. Food sovereignty is about power over food, how you grow it and how you eat it and how you distribute it. So it's let us ask this: who grows it? Who grows food? Ask yourself that question. Who decides? Who benefits? And please put some good hashtags in the chat there. Hashtag food sovereignty, our right, our responsibility. And sister will help you with those hashtags so that we all can bombard the internet with that. Food sovereignty, our right, our responsibility. So who grows this food? Who decides? Who benefits? Now, food, one global movement says food sovereignty is freedom. Freedom written in the language of seeds, soil, and self-determination. Why does food sovereignty matter? Why? Why does it matter to you? Put some answers in the chat there as we go along. It gives us freedom. When we grow our own food, we are not at the mercy of corporations or systems that are built uh, to benefit against the rights and dignity of others. Now, remember, there is a saying that he who feeds you controls you. Do you grow your own food the way that you were taught to grow it, the way that it can grow in your soil? So now food sovereignty gives us good health. Local, natural, and indigenous foods heal our bodies and our communities. If you come to my home, I eat exactly the way that my ancestors eat, or they taught me. My grandmother taught me. And it helps me, it heals me, it makes me stay healthy. And now, food sovereignty also empowers our culture. Seeds carry stories. Remember that story of the grandmother? That is how the seeds carry that story. No, losing them means losing part of who we are. Remember that. When you lose food sovereignty, when you lose your seeds, the seeds that come with that ancestral story, you are losing part of who you are. You're losing your identity. And so, food sovereignty empowers future generations. We are talking here about our children's children, and our children's children's children. We are talking here about that. So, the choices we make today will decide whether our children inherit life or scarcity. Very important. Remember that whatever choice you make today will determine if our children will inherit life or scarcity. And that is why we say here, let us teach our children to plant seeds of prosperity. Seeds of prosperity means it doesn't just prosper you, it prosper your children, your children's children, up to even 1,000,000 generation. And that ancestry will continue. And so, one global movement says the cry of the earth and the hunger of the poor are answered in the same way, through justice rooted in the soil. Remember, we came from the soil, and the soil gives us everything: the rivers, the trees planted, the fruits we eat, the vegetable, everything. And onto that same soil, we're going to return. That is why we must respect the soil like no other thing, the way that God created it. So now, let us empowering young people, women, and everyone. So you will agree, sister, and all of us say you will agree with me that true food sovereignty cannot exist without women and children and youth at the center. Is that true or false?
Everybody has to be, yes, of course,
Yes.
absolutely.
At the center, women are the seed keepers. Remember,
Yes,
when you sow a seed of life in a woman, that woman replicates that and give it to you as life, sometimes two, three, four, 10 sometimes. My
yes,
mother replicated that and gave twins. And
yes.
they so run some, they give five, but to five children at one blow,
Hmm.
one seed. And even the man, remember the seeds that God sent you. to sow in a woman with love and dignity and respect.
Mm-hmm.
When you sow it, out of those, you come with so many seeds, but out of those seeds, one is going to be sown in a woman, and now it comes out as seeds. We want to talk about, when they talk about the quiver of the man, it's so full. That means it's full with seeds of life. And that is why we need to give it with love and dignity, respect and gratitude. So, we agree with that true food sovereignty cannot exist without women, children, and young people at the center. Women are the seed keepers, the cooks, the culture bearers, and multipliers of every society. And the youth are the innovators. Yes, they're teaching us every day. They're visionaries, the guardians of tomorrow, and even those that fight for justice through peaceful rhetoric, peaceful writings, and all of those things. So at One Global Movement, we call on young people to rise in humility and respect and claim their inheritance. And when you claim that inheritance, you claim it because you've been learning from your parents, your grandparents, and you've been learning from your roots. So seeds are not just for planting. No, they are for passing on. What are you going to pass on today to your children, your grandchildren? Every child taught to save a seed is a nation guaranteed a future. When you teach a child to save a seed, when you buy a home, you teach your child, let's plant this tree. You met trees there, but did you plant your own tree? No. If you did, then you're teaching a child to save a seed. And when that child saves that seed, it is a nation guaranteed a great future. And so let us get into practical action here. Now, teach youth. We want to teach youth and women to save their seeds. Seed saving is very important. And that's what we are doing here in One Global Movement. We want to encourage communities, encourage community gardening, which we do every summer. That is my best activity to do. More than 300 people, young people mostly, come together to sow seeds of prosperity. Let us encourage community gardens, not only in our backyard, not only in the community, but also in schools. We go to school, we volunteer, we teach the students there. And then let us train leaders in sustainable farming or gardening practices. What is going to sustain you, and what kind of seed can sustain? In some countries, I read, because I do a lot of research, I read how there was this crop, this potato, very yummy. It disappeared because some people went and destroyed it and disappeared in order to bring their own seed in that community. But guess what? Because these people were determined to build their community and to build their children, they discovered, one farmer discovered that right deep in the forest, that potato was there. Nice. God preserved it in that community. And now he brought it back. He farmed it. Now he started distributing it in that community. And that is a seed, the kind of seed that sustains you during famine, during war, during those rare times that food does not grow, but that one will survive. All right? So food sovereignty is a global thing, but it begins locally. It begins from the home, like we always say. It begins with you and me. It begins with all of us here, like what we are doing. It begins when one community says, like the One Global Movement community says, we will decide what grows here on our soil because we understand our soil from time immemorial and from our ancestors, grandparents, and parents. We will protect our soil and respect the soil so that we will leave it in good shape when we are no more. We will honor our land because everything that starts with land is our God-ordained responsibility to protect and guard and pay tribute to the very soil that carries all existence. You have your home. Do you respect that land, that soil that your home stands on? Do you keep the home clean? Do you weed? Do you Do you mow the lawn well, or do you use part of it for gardening? These are simple things that we are talking about. We are not talking about something. Do you plant a flower in the vase and beautify your home? This is what we are talking about. So we will honor that land, because everything that starts with land is our God ordained responsibility to respect, guard, and pay tribute to the very soil that carries all existence. And now, go and dominate the land, all the fishes of the water, the birds of the skies, the cattle of the field, and everything that creeps on the surface of the earth. I can say this because I am in co-creation with Almighty God, and He has ordained us to speak these words into life, into the soil, into the existence of our children, and into the existence of all our family and our communities, right? So, oh, I can see Sharon is here. Oh my goodness. In war zones, thank God, Sharon, God's healing mercies. So, in war zones, refugee camps, or unstable regions, food sovereignty becomes more than a right, it becomes survival. It is a shield of dignity in the face of despair. Remember that. It's a shield, and we must respect that. And so, one global movement says, a movement that feeds its people is a movement that frees its people. A movement that feeds its people is a movement that feeds a movement that feeds its people is a movement that free its people. And we are that movement. We want to feed these children. We want to feed these young minds so that they can create even better. And because when they create, when they build that future, you and I are there. That will be our social security for our old age if we do it well. And so, a call to action. Today, I love this. Today, I call on each of us to take three bold steps, just three bold steps. And you start with one, don't start with three, because it starts small. And you do it, you nurture it, you work on it, you think about you failed, and you do it again, and you fail, and you do it again, you refuse to give up. Take one, and then you go to the next one, and then the next one. And you will realize that you were starving some great potentials within your system, that God deposited it there, and you did not do it. And so, number one, education. Remember, education is key. It is the passport into the future, and the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Are you preparing your children? This is the tribute to Malcolm X. And President Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon that we all can use to change the future. And we say here that education is also the most powerful tool that we can help to free a child's mind and instill food sovereignty in them. So teach women, teach youth. That is the first one. You can gather just few. Start with one child. Start with two youth. Teach women, teach young people and communities about seed saving, soil health, and crop diversity. When you harvest from your garden or your farm, ask yourself, who can I help that did not have the seeds to plant this year? Just take just a little sachet of seeds to that person. You must have really planted seeds in a whole generation. And then number two, organize. Organization is very important. Create food cooperatives, community gardens, and seed banks. And One Global Movement is really thinking about those food cooperatives. We started in Bangui about a few years ago, but the people were not so honest, and the money was gone with the wind. But I said, no worries, I'll do it again, because I'm not going to give up. If we give up, we're giving up on children and young people and women. And so create food cooperative, community gardens, and seed banks. And then advocacy is very important. What we are doing here too, we are also advocating. Now, push for policies that protect indigenous farming practices and community rights to land and water. Land and water. Very important. This, we can't survive without that land and that water. And water comes from the soil. And so we should push for policies that protect indigenous food practices, gardening, farming practices, and communities' right to own land and water. Remember land and legacy that we treated last time? It's very important. When your child graduates from school, they start working or they own a business or something, they can come to you and ask, Mommy, Daddy, what can I do with my money? Don't tell them to go and buy a car. No. But a car is a necessity, especially in certain regions. Buy a car that maybe 2,000, 3,000, then you upgrade it as you go along. Tell them to go buy land, okay? And start planting wealth, sowing some seeds on that land, maybe trees that they can help the community with timber, or maybe flower gardens that they can beautify the homes of others. They can give to a mother that gives birth at the hospital, or they can give to a grandparent at the nursing home to smell them. That is very, very important. So let us push for policies that protect indigenous farming practices and community rights to own land and water. Water. We can help people. Do they have clean water supply? Sister, you are the one that has been helping organizations with clean water supply for a lot of years. And this is exactly what we are talking about here. Not just to drink, but to also water our gardens. And so why? Why food sovereignty? Why all of this? Why advocacy? Why organization? Why education? Now, freedom begins. This is because freedom begins when we decide, when we individually, with family, or as a community, like what we're doing here, when we decide and understand what grows in our soil and what nourishes our bodies for better health. Better health. And this also includes going for checkups. Remember that. Don't just eat something and just sit. Every year on your birthday, go for your checkup, because early detection is key. I'm putting this in here because some people say, oh, I eat healthily, but I'm not going. My grandmother doesn't like the hospital, but she still go for checkup, because things change. And then now she will then go to natural remedies, her roots, backs of trees and vegetables, but she goes for checkup. All right. So now, as we close, ladies and gentlemen, let us remember food sovereignty is not a dream. It is a decision. It's not a dream. It is a decision that you make and you take. It is our right. Yes, it is. But it is also our responsibility. Don't just say it's my right. I own this land. It's my right. I can garden whatever I want. But it's your responsibility to keep that land fertile, to keep it clean. Don't pollute the land, and garden what grows to that land according to your ancestry, right? So at One Global Movement, we proclaim, and we do, with boldness, that the table where everyone eats is the table where humanity finally learns what justice tastes like. Justice for food sovereignty. Ladies and gentlemen, let us leave here today. I'm asking, let us leave here today not just inspired. We are not here to inspire, just to inspire, but committed to sow, to save, to share. For the harvest we are waiting for is the one we must plant together. What are you doing here? You're planting seeds of prosperity in One Global Movement. But maybe you don't know. That's a big thing, the biggest thing to do. You're not just here for nothing. It's not just growing seeds in the soil. But when you grow the seeds in the soil, it comes with a lot of things. That is a sacred thing. And so, for the harvest, I repeat this, for the harvest we are waiting for is in the one we must plant together. So join One Global Movement. Educate your family. Educate your children. Educate others across your borders to join One Global Movement. Save a seed. Plant a future. Feed the world with dignity. Sister, Your turn.
You know, you started off by touching on the sacredness and the sanctity of the land and the food connection. And I think one of the things we've lost, some of it has been orchestrated, but some of it is just too much. In this part of the world where we are, there's a saying that says familiarity breeds contempt, and it can be extrapolated to mean what we're doing with food, because we have so much food that we are gluttons. We don't eat properly. We don't think of sharing. We waste. And that is not what the Lord intended. There was a time when food was sacred every day, ordinarily, because it was so scarce and so valued, because it meant life. And people would eat. They wouldn't have these 3 meals a day and more than they can eat and just squander it. It was reverenced and treated with dignity. That was part of the problem that we've lost. We've just commoditized everything, and it's all about making money in this part of the world, especially. And then we interfere with other people's culture, and then they've lost the connection with their land as well. Imagine that story you told. They're planting the wrong crops. That we are meant to be dominions of the land, it's true, of the everything else, and we're meant to be sacred stewards. That's the connection that we forget. It's not just dominating it and treating it as badly as you can, as you say, polluting it. And it's a sovereign, sacred reverence that we should have for this connection. We don't have that. First of all, so many people think food comes from the supermarket. It doesn't start there. Even the bad things that they're doing with it, even though they've interfered with it, it does not start there. It starts in the ground, the land, the soil. Somebody had to plant those seeds, those sacred seeds. Man cannot make any seeds up to now with all our brilliance. We can make something that looks like a seed, might even smell like a seed. It will not grow like a seed.
Yes.
That is from the Creator. That's what sovereignty and sacredness and connection about the food, to the kitchen, as you say, to our mouths, and to our health. We have lost all those connections, and so we have to get back to that.
Yep.
And that is happening because you talked about the indigenous food sovereignty. That has to be, but again, it's always at the grassroots, on the ground. Big corporations are not going to do it.
Yep.
That is our responsibility. We have to feel it and do it. And it's not going to become just an option. It's going to become a necessity, because the food that they're giving us is not going to be good for us. So those seeds that you're talking about being saved and hoarded, if you want to call it that, we are going yes, exactly. They are going to be so prized more than gold. Believe you me, right? You know, because when you make a fruit that's supposed to have a seed, like the watermelons without the seed, you've done something to it, right? They're meant to have seeds. Seeds are to be planted and grown and harvested. There you go. Look at those beautiful fruits.
Yes.
Because it's what they are. They're tomatoes, but they're fruits,
all
right?
grown with organic practices. The only thing that
Absolutely.
I put there is natural, because we have it, the grass and the chicken poop. You put it there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And this
And
one,
that's how it's
very
been.
yummy.
Yes. And that is why our food is our medicine and our medicine is our food. We don't need all the other chemicals in between, because that is not doing our bodies any good. So yes, food sovereignty to me means really taking it back and upholding the sacred connection to food. Food is viewed as a sacred gift from the Creator. It's a right that cannot be constrained by colonial laws, right?
Yes.
So this is something that we have to really take seriously, just as much as water. Clean water is our right, but it's our responsibility as well. People are using the water as, everything else. They're using it to cool the technology that we have. And it's not a limitless supply, because it needs so much to do that. And then they say they clean it, but they never can clean it as well as it was before, sister.
Yep, that's right.
Those are the things we're facing. So let our kids, our young people, join the fight, because this world will be theirs.
Yes. Yes.
right? So
Right.
we have
Yes.
to we have
Let's
to get them
encourage
on
them.
board. Yeah, we
Yes,
have to get
please.
them on board.
Encourage them, and they
Yeah.
will come. They will come.
Hmm.
Just encourage them. If they don't listen today, maybe they are busy with something. Let them
Yeah.
be, and then just remind them again. We need to bring these children on board because they will know a lot. Okay,
Yes.
they will.
Yep.
And when we are talking about food sovereignty here, please, we also like we include the water. You can also sow a seed by cleaning the water, the lakes around your area. In some
Yes.
areas of the world, the lakes are so filthy,
Oh
and the
yes.
rivers. Some
Oh
people are
yeah.
polluting it at the top, and others are drinking at the bottom.
At the
Just
bottom,
imagine that.
yes.
So let
Yes.
us do that. And we're talking about an ancestral root. You can also plant a seed. I'm going to talk here about the baobab tree because it's something that is right in my village. Where,
Mm-hmm.
and this tree is very sacred. And this
It is.
tree, it's huge.
I
Okay.
know.
When my
It's huge.
mom and my grandmother, they will go and put food there during harvesting season, and
Mm-hmm.
during planting season, they place seeds there. And people
Yes.
are very, very kind, very understanding. They will take just a little bit so that they can leave it for other people to also
Yes.
take some.
Yes.
So they will take a little bit of seed, say, okay, okay, I will take one, I'll take two, so that the other people can also have
They're
things.
community
And
minded,
people just
sister.
do it.
Community. Community.
Community.
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody monitors them. So they
Yeah.
do that. But during harvesting too, they put food there because when we talk
Oh.
about sowing seeds, we know that some parents are sick, some people are sick, they can't do it. Some people they are not good at even doing that. That's not their gift. But they are
Yeah.
planting seeds in different ways. And
Mm-hmm.
so we bring food and place it there. I've done it myself because my grandmother instructed me and my mom go
Mm-hmm.
place this there for other people to take it, and God
Right.
will share it with them. And the same thing, you can take it to church. Like here, I take things to church, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because some people don't have, and you'll be surprised. So you can sow seeds in different ways. There is nothing that we can ever say, no excuse that we can ever give for not helping children, women, and young people because that we don't have money. No, it does not begin there. Money is an important part.
It is. It
Okay.
is.
Because
It
God
is.
bless us to be wealthy, but it starts from somewhere.
It
Because you
does.
see a lot of people, they are wealthy, but the wealth sometimes becomes a curse to them because they did not follow the rules of
Absolutely.
money. God gives us prosperity so that we can prosper others. If you go, some of us are the first in our bloodline to eradicate poverty, illiteracy, and hunger. Some of us
Mm.
are the first to go to school. Some of us are the first to own a home. And so on and so on. And so we can plant seeds in different ways. And I sister talks about sacred. That is so true. It is a sacred thing. We don't play with it. We don't play. There is a story that we told here about some times ago about a neighbor. This neighbor lives with another woman. This woman always begs, but then for some reason, this woman feels like she is the only beggar in the community. And she
Um,
did not want to go and ask anymore. And the children were starving and everything. But this neighbor that she always goes to beg from, the neighbor was very good to pretend as though asking for help is not a person's thing. If you don't ask for help today, you can ask for help tomorrow, right? And
yeah.
so what she did was, because this woman always asked for salt, what she did was she knows what though they can afford to give. And so she goes there, she said, please, can you please help me with this thing? I don't have, there's no way I can have it. And they gave it. Guess what? Those people were very happy
Yeah,
that,
of course.
wow, even in our lack, some people can still afford to ask us, and people that have. And that
Hmm.
is how she relieved them, that don't be afraid to ask for help when you
Of
need it.
course. Yes. You have to ask to receive. Yes.
Yeah. And let us not shun those who ask. Let us not really
No.
put them to the background. Let us not call them poor. Because when you
No.
do that, they shut up and they're suffering in silence. And so
Yes.
We can do something, no matter even this little tomato. I've been sharing these tomatoes in the community a lot because these are tomatoes that I always grow for lunch for my son and for myself. And
They,
for snack, you can eat them for snacks. See,
I know they taste so much different than those things you buy in the
so good,
store.
you know. And
No,
you
I
can
tell
do
you,
this. One
yeah,
tree gives you a whole lot.
a
I
whole
bought
lot.
one plant for $4 something, but this time around I'm going to try to nurture my own seeds so that I can
Yep,
share it with others. We can do something.
absolutely.
Don't just sit and say I can't do this. You can nurture a little flower and take
Yes.
somebody.
And the different ways they have of growing things now. I mean, you can grow them right on your balcony. Just get the right up, the tall up growing, or
Yeah.
the bags that they have. So many ways of growing now. People are so innovative. So there's no excuse not to have a little garden of your own where you can feed
Yeah.
somebody else
Like I
next door.
learned from Melanie because
Yeah, exactly.
in the city there's no space for gardening.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So I learned that tower. I said, "Oh, there was a tower. Okay, they will know me now. I will buy
There
that."
you go.
So I went there and I typed tower. Now I learned a lot about.
The tower garden, the tower planting. It's there.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God! I just put those little cups there and nurture the seeds very quick.
Oh yes. So no, seriously. And can you imagine? Even the young people, you can show them how to do that, and they will become so attached to
Yes.
that. Believe you me. Everybody knows that there's the food that we're eating is not all perfect for us, and we can do better. We
We
can do
can.
better. Are
Yes.
you going to be reading the chat, sis? Because I have
Yeah.
Maria,
Let's.
Maria,
Yeah.
Maria.
Let me read the chat very quick because I have to also go.
Yeah,
Hello, Mr. Ashon.
I just didn't want you to miss this question from Maria Jose. She's saying,
Okay.
what can we help for people with disability? They love to have that. I think she was talking about the planting, I believe.
Okay. Now, I work with people with disability before. I've
Yeah,
always worked in the caring field, writing programs.
yeah,
Sometimes because sometimes when I'm less busy, I go to the floor and I try to interact with them because disability happens in every family. We
it
all
does.
are disabled in one way or the other.
Hmm.
And but now I call them specially able people, not disabled.
Especially
So
able.
yes, yes, because they are special in a lot of ways. A lot
Yes,
of them they can talk. Some of them
of
they can
course,
write. Some of them
It's
they
a
can
vision.
dance. Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so uh, you can. Some of them they can't talk, but when you talk to them, they understand. They will
right.
say the yes or no.
Yes,
Some of
yes.
them use these devices. Thank God for technology to
Oh
communicate.
yes,
So
oh
what
yes.
we do is this is what I used to do, because everywhere that I work, I champion the garden there and the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I always do the gardening there and share the vegetable and everything so they eat in that community. And
Yeah.
so what we can do is we will them. You have a garden or you want to plant a pot, tell them, show them a variety. Say which plant do you like to plant? Or which kind of flower do you want to plant? That's what I did. And they will choose the one that they point to. You're going to write their name or their names. Write that person's name on that and the name of the plant, and you teach that person. This is how we do it. You prepare it like this, and then you plant, and then you water, and then you weed it, and keep nurturing it until it becomes where you can cut it, or you can just give it as a gift to somebody. And make sure you document every day and make sure they are contributing when you are watering, and make sure they understand that they have to water them. When you teach them, they will know when it's time. They can even say water, and there are signs that you can make for them. They will say water plant. They will
Oh.
point to water plant, or on their
Mm-hmm.
device they will do that. There has to be a way. None of them, those people are very sympathetic and they are very willing to do things. Imagine when you do that with their name, do you know that you've empowered that person? They know that even in my challenges, I can still do something. And then you can, when they do one or two, take them to the community to give it to somebody, or they can give it to their parents when their parents come to visit, or to their siblings. There's a lot of things that we can do. And just like you're doing art and craft with them, we don't just keep them there like that. Because
Yeah.
when you keep them dormant, they get you're not helping them at all. It's just like us. If we just sit there and be dormant, we're not doing what we are doing. Guess what? We start having a headache. We start having emotional disturbances. So you can do that. We can do that. We can talk about that later, because I can also take a look into that, because that's what I did for a long time. Okay, I helped my mother's auntie who lived up to 90 something years, because she was born with profound disability. But the mother was determined to raise her as a normal child. But the one thing, she got married, had children. She was so clean. She cooks. She does everything. The child, one of the biggest nurses in Cameroon, bought land and built her a mansion. You can now teach a child.
There you go.
So
you know what it says? Where there's a will, there's a way, right? It starts here. Intentionality.
There you
right?
go. There you go. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking that wonderful question. This is something that we all should do, instead of shunning or running away from them, because it could be you, it could be your child.
Absolutely. Okay? And some people weren't even born like that. You have to remember, sometimes accidents can cause that, right?
Yes.
Can cause them to lose some faculties. So that people are in there. Once you have that mind, you're in there, So yes.
Thank you for that. Here in one global movement, every child is included. No child is left behind.
Every single person. Yes. Yeah.
So hello, Abdul Sattar. What's her name again?
Maria Jose. You call her Maria Joes, but I think
Maria Joes. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for that great question. Thank you. Let us keep asking. I love that. When you ask questions like that, it helps.
Well, she wants to spread it out, right? She wants to spread, not just here, not just for herself. She wants to help other people who are, they used to call it in the 80s, I think, differently abled, but whatever you want to call it, Yes. Absolutely.
Hello, Tapaz. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new, you're welcome here. And good evening and good afternoon to all family members here. Good evening to you as well. We love you. Come again and encourage others to come, even your children, as young as 5 years old. We have ambassadors that are 5 years old. And so let us encourage our children to be ambassadors of one global movement. Not because they're going to be doing anything, but we want to build their portfolios, and we want to make sure that these children, wherever they go in the world, they fit in. They are proud of who they are, and we want to make sure that they attend the best schools whatsoever. Thank you. Hello, John. Thank you so much for always being here, and thank you for being the managing director here, helping One Global Movement. We appreciate you. Hello, Samitra. Thank you for being part of us again here today. We appreciate you as well. And thank you, sister, for always welcoming everyone here, because everyone has a seat at the table of One Global Movement.
Yes, they do.
Yes. And our beautiful sister, Nancy, thank you so much, sister, for being here. And here is our Facebook link. And we're going to find a way to shorten that. We are working on that, because we are working on the website. Now, after that, we go to work on all the social media handles. So thank you so much for putting that there. And this is the StreamYard link. StreamYard is very good. This is what we've been using for more than 1 year. If you need to be a subscriber, please do so. So $10 will go to help a child in some part of the world. Thank you so much. And Sir Ojala, thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. And gardening maintains the connection to the land and the food grown on the land, also maintaining the sacredness of that connection. Very, very important. Yes.
Very important. Yes.
No worries, John. You need to do what you can do for now, okay? Helping yourself first. Because if you don't help yourself first, you won't be able to help these children, right?
Right.
And we have Peruri. How are you, sir? Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your presence and your love for children. And hello. Okay, I click on John. John always says, and boys too, okay? And boys too.
Don't forget boys.
Don't forget boys, yes. And hello, Ginger. Thank you so much for joining us here. We appreciate you, ma'am, for all what you're doing. Thank you. From Australia. I won't forget that. And one lady said I should greet all of us here in One Global Movement. Elizabeth Bate from Papua New
Papua New
Guinea.
Guinea. Papua New
Yes.
Guinea. Yes, yes, yes.
My glasses are broken. This side is not there.
I noticed. I was going to ask you after.
But I will use it for now. I need to go in for it.
Yeah.
So food sovereignty is a human right, and all of us have the responsibility to ensure it is a responsibility. Hashtag food sovereignty, hashtag human rights. That's so well. Hashtag, you guys can rush. Everybody, let everybody put those hashtags there now. Food sovereignty, hashtag human right. If you can, please do that in the chat, please. Thank you. And Ginger says, empowerment when you grow your own food. Teach your young this important knowledge of gardening and life.
Absolutely.
Certainly. Thank you. And say thank you very much to God for giving us such a wonderful CEO. God bless to our CEO, Mr. Ashmufari family. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for praying for him. We all should be doing that. Thank you. We have Sanjeev. Gosh, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us here today. Please don't forget to put the big thumbs up. That should be the first thing here so that we keep making AI to know that we are here. We are doing something great. So thank you. And if you have not subscribed, don't forget to do so. Hello, Tina. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We appreciate you. And we have Veer Batham. How are you, sir? If you're new here, you're welcome here. And do well to subscribe, okay? And share our videos with others. And of course, our beautiful sister Sharon is here.
Welcome back, Sharon. Yay.
Thank God for his healing mercies for you, Sister Sharon.
Yes.
And thank you so much. And you're going to keep getting better and better
and
back to normal. Thank you.
Amen. We missed you.
Yes. Happy birthday. When she's here, you know that she's here. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating their birthday today. Thank you. And let's go down here. So good to see Ballyhoo on the countdown.
That's
welcome, Sharon. Yeah. Maria Jazz, how are you? Thank you so much for that question. She's the one who asked the question, right?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Thank you so much, sister. We love that. And
we have Gutam. Gutam is next.
Yes. Hello, Sir Gutam. How are you? Thank you so much for your support and your presence. We appreciate you. Okay, and then we have MD Babu Ali. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us. If you're new here, do well to subscribe and share. And Sir Ashok Kumar, thank you so much, sir, for your consistency and your determination to support our children. We appreciate you. Yes, hit the spot, Yvonne. I don't want to eat from the factory farms. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Without chemicals, more need to grow and share. And let us take these lessons that we are practicing to our neighbors and our
absolutely. Yes.
Not just keep it to ourselves. So thank you. And yes, special thanks to you and Ginger. Please remember to join the live update with our CEO tomorrow at 1 p.m. EDT. The link will be in the OES. So thank you so much I was going to ask you and John if there's any announcement to make. So thank you so much for making that.
I sent it to you, sister, so I don't know how you...
But I wanted you to make it with John because you sent the link to me already, right?
The link is not there yet. You know, they always wait until the last minute because you know, they don't want.
Please send it to me, please.
I won't. Well, yeah, I was going to say they don't really like you to send it out. You have to go and claim it yourself. But I will tell you when it's there. It's okay. Don't worry.
Thank you so much, Ginger. That really inspires me to do better and more. Thank you
That
so
Dr.
much.
Mundih has taught many. Yes.
Thank you so much. And please like, follow. This is our Facebook link. Go to Facebook. You can decide to bring some 2, 3, 4, or 5 people or your whole family to help. That is a great way to help that it doesn't take that much out of you. So by liking and following, you will be helping a lot of children around the world. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And remember tomorrow. Yeah, you and John, just like I said, remember tomorrow, go to the OES and go to O News 15 to get the link for the global
Global
meeting.
meeting. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I have to set my alarm. Okay. 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime is going to be 12 p.m. my time.
Yeah, it's just noon, Saturday.
Yes, Saturday noon. I'm gonna be right there. I'll be waiting for my link from the managing director and Sister Yvonne.
Yeah, because you can write and listen at the same time. We don't get to speak, so that's fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Here again is the Facebook link. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I wish you guys a very good weekend. And as always, there is always some power in the conclusion that our sister gave. Sister, the conclusion is all yours.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And let me see. Okay, so what do I have here? I want to add again the colonialism part, right? That is one of the things that we have to, but it seems to be going away in certain parts, especially with Mr.
Yes.
President Ibrahim.
Right.
Yes, that is going to be a thing of the past because it has really caused a big disconnect between what it means to farm and to feed and to eat. Because just because there's land doesn't mean you should plant everything on it. The land is for the specific food, and our ancestors knew that. They did not abuse that. They didn't think everything was all about money. Yes, money is a tool, but food, we need food first. What's the point of having money if you're ill? It's all going to go into buying your health again, which is what we're doing now, especially in this part of the world. So much money is being spent on trying to get healthy. But the thing is, it's the source of what we're eating. A lot of it is that's causing, and it's the disconnect, as I said. Food does not come from the grocery store. It does not. It comes from the land, which is natural and healthy, right?
Yep.
And so we keep interfering with it. And that is what the sacredness that we have missed. It's the abundance that we have, but abundance doesn't mean quality, does it?
No.
Right? It does not. And so I would encourage everyone to share these kinds of talks here on this so that we can go back to the land, wherever we are, as Dr. Mundih said. Even the smallest space can grow. And then we can go back to what it was meant to be, bartering and community and sharing. You grow this and I grow that. Yep. Look at what you have there. Look at what you have there in your garden. And everybody's going to get something, whatever is their fancy. So that's we can live like that, sister. We really can live like that. We don't have to be subjected to the commoditizing us of everything that's going on now. They're just buying it and selling it for the money. No.
And the money doesn't take anyone anywhere. If those natural tenets are not there, it doesn't take us anywhere.
It does not.
So,
it does
like
not.
You said, we go back to treating ourselves with that same money, and you will not be in a happy place when you use that same money to treat what you already consume that is not good. So we just keep moving in circles. So we can do better. Just a little will go a long way to keep somebody healthy, to keep a child focused on their education, to keep a child happy and healthy. And it starts with you and I, sister. It starts with all of us.
It does.
Because we are responsible for those children that maybe the parents, for one reason or the other, are not there. We pick after them. And that is why we're going to be taking students to the farm, to the garden, and working alongside with them. We started this summer. We took them. Some of them were building the fence. Some of them were planting the crops. They were learning, and they were so happy. One of them says, "I'm going to live my life like this." Like
there you go.
Yes.
You see? There you go. There you go.
We do it. Action with love. When you do things with love and respect, and just Anything that a child does, just say, you are doing wonderful, and really appreciate them from the bottom of your heart.
Absolutely.
They will feel it, they will know it, and they will do more.
Absolutely.
Right? So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a great weekend, and glad to see you back, Ballyhoo.
Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. We love you.
Bye, everyone.